Oh no.
Hello,
Oh no.
everybody.
Good morning. Poor Craig was being funny before we came out here, and
It works.
It's bitten him.
It works. It is funny.
It is. Well, over here in the Pacific Northwest, it's 9:00 in the morning, so we've got our coffee. Craig's got his big gulp.
Yep. We're ready.
We are ready. It's Monday. It's Memorial Day.
Keys is here.
Python portal.
Want to hear a funny story about Keys here? That's actually from yesterday when I did the whole thing wrong.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you played the video wrong yesterday, right?
I did. I thought I was being clever. It wasn't clever, but that's okay. That's why Keys is here, but not here yet. He was here yesterday. He's that ready. Brian's here. And look, Pete's here. Look at all these
Pete.
people.
Good morning.
Thanks for hanging out. So Kurt was just telling Craig, in your circle is kind of a different beast these days. It's not on a dedicated time. It's just a pop-up whenever. So you never know where you'll find us now.
We're trying to trick the viewer.
Keeping it fresh. We are. Will you be ready? I don't know. But you better try. No. And the description says, mystery guests talking about reptiles. Who will be there? You have to be there to find out.
That's a nice way of saying we don't know either.
But I did. I just didn't tell anybody because we have the wonderful Julianne this morning from Creature Farm. She just bring
Awesome.
her out.
Hey guys.
Julianne. You have your friend with you. I was hoping you would.
Yeah, he's here. He's extremely pissed off because I brought another bearded dragon into the house that we're fostering right now, and he saw him from across the room. So I really offended him. So
Oh no.
I'm holding the boss for now to make him feel a little bit better.
Did he flare up and everything?
Oh yeah, like he's all black.
Oh
bearded
yeah,
right
he's
now.
mad.
He's ready
He's
for
angry.
beardy battles.
He
Literally.
is. Is the other one a male too?
It's another boy, yeah.
Oh, of
it's a
course.
big boy too. Like as big as this guy is, the other one's even a little bit bigger. So I think there's a little bit of size issues going on. He's a little offended.
Oh no. Extra cuddles will
Yeah.
help. I like how he's staring at it over your shoulder though.
Yeah, he is. And the thing is, it's literally across the room from his tank, but he still finds a way to see him and get pissed off. But it's enrichment. That's how I call it.
Yeah. It's good for him to see another beardy and not
Gotta keep him in his place a little bit.
How have you been doing, Julianne?
Been doing good. How about you guys?
We're good.
Yep, we've just been. We don't have a lot of expos right now this time of year, so we've been doing a lot of stuff locally and just kind of getting out our internet orders and trying out some Palm Street stuff and just really not traveling. Kind of missed that life, but doing stuff here while we can.
Oh my gosh, speaking of internet orders, Craig, have you seen their website?
No, I've seen their Instagram.
My goodness.
Can we
I'll
pull
go
it
there
up
right
and
now.
share it?
Oh, I will. No, here, I can pull it up. Yeah. You guys, well, you keep talking because I get distracted easily, but I'll pull it up. I look
great
at it
website.
frequently, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
It's website. It's Craig does websites and
Okay.
It's really great.
It is, isn't it? It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Let me go click a button so people can see it. You just finished up, or are you still doing your, not competition, but your...
Oh, the tag sale?
Yes.
So, no, so it lasted, I said a week, but technically it was 8 days, but we just finished that up. I think it was Wednesday was the last day. But we wanted to sell, we do, basically, I have some right here. We do the species signs, and we wanted to sell at least 50 of them online just to, bring some more traffic to that. And we sold exactly 51.
Oh,
we went one over our goal, which is awesome.
Way to go. Well, here.
Are these laser etched wood?
Yes, sir. They're all laser.
Look at this. Look how amazing this is.
It's cool.
All different.
I was going to say, it looks like you have a really high quality laser.
We have it's an Ohm Tech brand. She's massive. We started out with just a Glow Forge, which was the Glow Forge does a good job too, but it's just very small. So we started off with that guy, and then we got the bigger one.
Look how amazing these are.
That is really cool.
I like that.
my point of reference is somebody that I used to work with had one, and it wouldn't fully etch the image because it was a smaller unit.
Yeah,
But
it really just depends. There's so many, and they sell some really nice, cheaper ones. But the problem with like the cheaper ones is that you have to do all of the work to dial it in and everything. So,
oh my gosh, your little kid, you have care guides.
Kittens here now.
Look at all this. Craig,
You've worked hard on this. I know, it's great.
Yeah, we try to have a care guide for most of the. Probably need to update the care guide section, but for most of the animals we sell, just so that if people get something from us, then they can reference our website if they have, questions and stuff, and we're not able to answer right away.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
This is really nice.
And then you design your stickers and your merch and stuff, right?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
So I do all the design, even for like the species tags. Like I do the illustrations for these, and like do all the research and stuff. And then my wife is the one who so I do all the computer stuff, do the illustrations on my iPad, bring it into my computer, do the design for the tag, and then send the SVG over to her. We have a building next to our house that's like her little workshop with the laser engraving stuff. So she gets that knocked out, and she does like the actual finishing on it.
Awesome.
Yep, we do. I do all of the illustrations. The stickers and stuff give me an outlet to do more funny things.
Do you print your own stickers, or you have them?
I do. No, I don't. I get in fights with printers, and so we've thought about getting like a vinyl printer and doing it from home, but I just outsource it for now.
That's great.
Were we frozen for a minute?
Y'all were.
Yes.
Y'all just looked shocked.
Yeah, we were shocked.
Yeah.
Because we're not connected to, this is the same thing. We're not connected to wireless. We are connected via cable. And it just said, poor internet connection. If you're connected via wireless, we're not.
Yeah,
Internet.
we have Comcast, and 99% of the time it's great.
Anyway.
But the 1% is really bad.
So how many species are you working with, Julianne?
That's a great question that I don't even know the answer to.
Because well, that tells me a lot.
Yeah, so I don't have a ton of any one thing. Like we had like the racks back here. It's just a couple small racks, but it's mostly like grow out hog noses. And then we have a few different kinds of hogs. We have, of course, the plains, and then we also started working with Easterns recently. I got a pair from a really good breeder, and I don't remember what his name was, but there's some really high orange Eastern hogs that we're excited to start working with, and then we got some tricolors. And then I also like working with different parthogenic species, so like the lesbian lizards, like my shirt.
Oh yeah.
So we have a few different kinds of morning geckos. I have yellow spotted night lizards. I have binos geckos. So those are our partho girls. And then we also emerald tree skinks are another big one that we do a lot of. People really love those guys. They're so much fun. My adults are wild caught, and they're still like amazingly friendly. And so the babies, whenever we have the babies, they literally come out of their egg like ready to play with us. It's amazing.
Clint's Reptiles has an amazing video on emerald tree skinks.
Yeah, so he's really good. I was watching one of his videos one time, and it was just like him reacting to YouTube or TikTok stuff. And unbeknownst to me, like towards the end of the video, he had a section where he was reacting to emerald tree skink videos, and one of our videos was on there.
Cool.
And I didn't even know. I just was like, I'm gonna watch this while I do work on my computer, and we were on there. So I was like, oh, that's hilarious. That I just so happened to pick that one.
Did you fall over? Because that's what I would have done.
A little bit. Well, I started immediately like, hey, y'all, go watch this video. my skinks are on there. These guys back there. But then we work with Amazon milk frogs are another one. Fire belly toads. We've been working on breeding those guys just because I had them as a kid that I got from Walmart, I believe. And then that's where everybody got their fire belly toads at first. And then now we're breeding them, obviously. No more Walmart toads.
Oh, your little kitten.
Yeah, she just popped up, so I'm trying to keep her quiet.
It's a cute kitten.
That is.
Look, this is the best part. She doesn't have a tail.
Oh,
it's just a little butt. She's super sweet.
She's like, "How dare you, Mom?"
I know.
Oh my goodness, you have so much amazing stuff. How do you decide who to hold when you go in there?
It's tough, honestly. Sometimes I'll just look who's giving me eye contact, Because, like, for instance, this guy who's behind me, I can tell when he's like resting and he doesn't want to be held and played with. I'll just leave him alone. But sometimes he'll literally like smack the glass or the acrylic on his front and be like, "I want to come out, Mom." So we'll just see who's awake and looking to interact. Luckily we have a lot of options. So
you've been doing a lot of shows. You said you're taking a break. You get to be home for a little bit. How many shows have you done already just in 25?
So we did the NARBC lineup. So we went to Tinley. I was our first Tinley. So we were really lucky to be able to get into there. We kind of wiggled our way in. And then we went to Dallas, of course. We always love the Dallas NARBCs. We went to Bob's show in Atlanta, the Southeast Reptile Expo, and then several local shows as well. I'm in South Louisiana, so we do the herp shows over here.
Right.
So there's one in Slidell, Louisiana that we do all the time. That one's really good. Baton Rouge. So I think our next one isn't until July, and it's also just another little local show. So it's not too much off of our weekend.
You've been busy.
Have been busy. Tinley was a big one just because we drove the whole way there, obviously, because we have all the animals and stuff. And it was like a 15-hour drive or so, but it was fun. We've already excited to do it again. So
I'll say, what did you think about Tinley? We've never been. Craig has gone to visit.
Yeah, it was amazing. So honestly, we didn't buy a single thing just because, we bought a few tchotchkes here and there, but we didn't buy any animals just because we were so busy the entire time. We did not even get a chance to walk around and look at stuff. And then we went to the USARK auction after, and I was like, well, maybe this is where I'll get my chance to grab a few things. But honestly, we stayed for a minute, did the silent auctions, and we're like, we are exhausted. Let's go get some food and go back to the room because it was insane. Just like the VIP hour on Friday was better than some of like our whole show weekends at some of the smaller shows. It was that crazy.
Oh my goodness. We're going to have to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was our first time going as we had never gone period, so either as a vendor or just a guest. This was our first experience just diving straight in. So we kind of lucked out getting our table just because it was another vendor who had to drop out, and we've been on the waiting list for a minute, but we had different stuff, so they let us come in and
not just another ball python breeder.
No, that's what I literally on all my applications for the shows. I'm like, I promise I won't bring any ball pythons or crested geckos or leopard geckos. I solemnly swear.
Well, you have plenty of other things to keep everybody busy.
Yes,
and you have your little buddy. You have your little buddy. He hangs out at the shows. He
does. He has his throne somewhere. I think the cat's in his bed right now. But this is Mr. Sir. We call him our boss. He comes all over the place with us. And he's our only beardy, but except for this foster guy who's making him angry right now. But no, it's not like we even work with beardies as like a profession or anything, but he's just kind of our mascot that comes everywhere with us.
And he just hangs out on the table. I remember walking by at Southeast and being like, that can't be real. And then he moved and I was like, oh, yep, he's real.
He'll kind of slowly pivot his head and make eye contact. In Dallas, it was really great because he has a Cubone mask, the Pokemon. So he has like a little Cubone mask that I'll put on him. And he wore that thing from like when the show started to 10 a.m. until like 2, which he never keeps it on that long. And so he was getting a lot of attention that day. I think he was eating it up. So
fully immersed in character.
100%. Everybody was like, I love your cosplay, talking to him. So he was getting more attention than us.
And there's pictures on your Instagram for people who want to go back and check it out because that's
absolutely,
it was adorable.
There's pictures on my Instagram and lots of other ones because everybody loved it. Even Emily with Snake Discovery was geeking out because she saw him with his little mask on and she had to come get some pictures and videos of him.
Of course, because he's adorable.
He is. He's a good boy. He deserves it.
When you make your signs, do you make them for the average person, but then do you make them for zoos and everything else? Is that what I read?
Yeah, we do. So I wish I had the order here. We actually just finished up an order for, I don't know if you're familiar with, there's a chain of like smaller zoos called Blue Zoo. They're usually like in little, I know the one closest to us is in Baton Rouge, which is a couple hours north, but it's in the mall. So it's like a miniature zoo aquarium that's in the mall. But they have a few locations throughout the country. But the one we did some signs for them is in Arkansas. It's a little location out in there in Arkansas. And we do their signs there. So these are our normal signs about this size. Theirs were about I think 5x10 is what we ended up doing. And we did those bilingual because they have a lot of Spanish speaking visitors to the zoo too. And so we did the signs. It's all on one sign, but it's got the English and the Spanish translations for all of like the species information.
That's awesome.
And so that was when we just wrapped that up, and I just shipped it off to Arkansas a few days ago. So I don't have it here anymore. But we'll be posting. I didn't post pictures yet, but I took some, so I'll be posting those soon.
Is this something
we've done a few for other facilities too? Sorry.
It's a no. You're fine. Are you all full time now doing all of this?
Full time, yes, ma'am.
What was the inflection point that said we got to do this full time? What was the big decision maker?
Honestly, there wasn't a huge decision. So I was working full time. I was doing like this business part time, and then working full time for a company locally, just doing graphic design and stuff, because that's what I went to school for. And that company just kind of wasn't doing great, and I just decided I think this is my cue to just start doing this, my own thing full time, because I was having to like basically find my own customers and stuff for this other company. I'm like, if I'm gonna do the work to do all of that, I'm just gonna do it for myself, and focus on what I actually really want to do. And so that's what we did, and we just decided at that point to give it a try, and it's been working out.
I'd say so. I'd say so.
Yeah, the sign, we've been really, really trying to hammer down the signs right now while we're out of, show season. So that's really what we've been focusing on. And we also do the full color ones, which are like these guys.
Oh, wow.
So it's still wood. It's UV printed onto wood.
So you get different colors by etching to a different depth?
No, so this is actually UV printed. We don't carve these ourselves.
Okay.
So I still do all the artwork. I do all the illustrations, and then we send them off to a company that does UV printing onto like hardwood.
Okay, cool.
These we don't. So for the regular laser engraves, we do any species. So I've done like 400 different species of animals. But for the full color ones, it's right now we have 8 different species, and we're just slowly building that up because we get them printed in bulk from the company that prints them for us.
That's great.
But we kind of wanted to do something like that, and we were pleasantly surprised with how, like, you can see how clear the printing is, even like on the tiny little text. I'll let y'all come a little closer.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Beautiful.
But
came out great.
We're really happy with how clear it was. We were kind of worried about that, so we gave it a small try. So that's something else we're working on, just kind of building up that line of signs too.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go places.
Hopefully. We appreciate it.
You already have, and you're going to continue. Those signs are amazing. Your designs, the signs, your art, all of it.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's what I went to college for, was art and graphic design, but animals were always kind of like my main thing, as you would say. And so I've just been trying to find a way to merge those two things. Art, she did some art stuff. Lives next door.
Oh, we're losing your audio.
It's kind of clicking.
It's cutting in and out.
I thought it was me.
I know. I thought it was us.
I was like, this is a bad joke. We're going down again.
Maybe repair them.
Julianne has so much amazing stuff. Those signs. I'm like, we could get one for the king snake.
Now you have to unmute.
Is it any better?
Yeah.
Yes.
There.
Back.
Yes.
Went away.
But now I can't hear you guys.
Oh no. We'll talk really clearly. So you.
Audio.
For example, let's talk about a time when Nikki got terrified by things that you're doing right now, Craig. That time we were doing this thing called Epic, and Mark Mandic did that.
Pause this up for 1 second and get it fixed.
You're good.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And Mark Mandic did that, and I thought that our sound had crashed, and I was like, "This is it. We're gonna screw up the whole first thing."
Joke was on us. Our sound had already crashed.
Yeah. Geez.
This was our microphone, everybody.
That was our microphone for Epic.
Accidentally, the system chose their controller, their game controller, as the microphone instead of their nice studio microphone.
And I'm so old that I didn't even realize these things had microphones.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
This wasn't even sitting in front of us. It was sitting off to the side.
Yep.
A PlayStation controller.
How dare you, Sony? How dare you?
Actually, they saved our butt because if that wouldn't have worked, it would have been even worse. Can you hear us? This is when I normally say the
Hold
most
on.
important thing is not to panic, but I don't know if Julianne could hear us. Don't panic. We need to know sign language. No, their website, I was looking at it this morning.
Yeah, it's really great. It's engaging. It's well designed. It's got, lots
I don't know.
of information.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you.
I cannot hear y'all. It's saying putting the settings on. It's internal speakers.
This is when I want to yell, we've all been there.
But you can't hear us.
I know. Poor Julianne.
It's completely nothing. But I put the speakers on.
And I don't think I can help. All I can do is mic settings, huh?
And
Did
that's
you try disconnecting and reconnecting?
She can't hear us, Craig. She can't hear us.
Craig's got it. He's
Craig's
typing in the chat.
We're typing.
And it looks like Nikki did the typing.
No, yeah, I'm typing, pointing at Craig. Craig typed to you.
In the comments.
Oh no, if she's not in, could you see the comments?
I don't know.
Yeah, she should.
I feel like a grandma who can't.
No,
figure out
you're
her
not a
own
grandma.
computer.
You're not a grandma. You're good. Oh, there's always a technical error. Usually it's us. So sorry that it's anybody
We'll
else.
try these guys again.
Can you hear us?
Oh wait, I might have gotten you.
Do you hear
Got me?
us?
Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you.
We can hear
Okay,
you.
I heard you for a second. Now y'all are gone again. I heard you say, "Can you hear us?"
Brian in the chat goes, we've all been there. Yes, we have.
We have.
There's nothing to worry about. Oh, look it. Keys is a channel member. Now
Thanks,
we can make
Keys.
content for Larry and Keys.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was talking to Kurt about our well, we can't do daily vlogs because we just forget. We're forgetful people. But I was joking when it was just Larry. I was like, our vlog will have to be, hi, Larry. This one's for you.
Okay, wait. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not changing anything.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear y'all. I had to turn it on. The
Okay.
speakers off my AirPods, but the mic's on. I don't understand. I'm so sorry.
And I don't think there's any feedback, so that's amazing. That's
Okay,
good. And don't worry, that has happened to every single one of us. That's what we were trying to yell. Don't panic.
No, I just normally I'm like the tech support of my family that has, hey, I needed to export a PDF, so I just felt like I was like turning into the other side. So
Yeah.
The one that wanted to wave the white flag. Ow!
yeah, help me! I need a young person.
Right. You just know you will never be on the other side until somebody asks you what's on your desktop and you say, well, a pen, a coffee cup, a keyboard.
Oh no. It's happening.
Then you know you've fully turned.
Oh.
So back to you going full time. What does a week look like for you? I mean, obviously there's cleaning, there's breeding and all that kind of stuff, but what like, do you do a lot of morph market sales, or you do most of your sales in shows?
Honestly, it's probably a good 50-50 between morph market and like in-person shows. I've noticed some things sell really well in morph market and some things sell better at shows. So for instance, like I rarely ever list like my emerald tree skinks on morph market, just because if we have them available and we have a show coming, if I bring them, they're selling. Like I've never gone to a show and them not sold almost like first half of the first day, just because they're so popular. But
And
some
they're
things,
not so easy to find.
no, especially captive,
ones.
yeah, especially the captive bred ones. You can sometimes find the wild caught ones, but my groups, I have 2 different breeding groups now. So I just recently took in a second group so I could have 2 different bloodlines.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of something we're excited about. So now we can sometimes even offer captive bred babies in like duos of different bloodlines. But then for things like hog noses, for instance, we usually do a little bit better on morph market, just because our selection of hog noses isn't ever going to be anything close to what some of the bigger breeders, bring to shows. And so we sell better on morph market a lot of times, just because people who want the specific genes search it out online, they find us, and then they'll buy from us there. So
cool.
It just kind of depends.
So I'm surprised they let you have Eastern hognose in Louisiana. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Louisiana. I would say they're not too strict about it, but they're actually starting to buckle down a little bit on some of it. But it's not our. So for owning the native snakes, you just have to have a fishing license.
Oh, cool.
And then for like selling the native snakes, you have to get a small permit. But it's like I think it's like $20. It's nothing crazy.
That's great.
And it's very easy to get.
That is great.
It's nice to hear that they're doing it right.
A
lot of the states don't.
You say that, but then we've actually been fighting with the wildlife and fisheries. I went to a few of the meetings. I was even on the news with my tegu because they're, how Florida and then Alabama and then some of the other states are starting to ban things like tegus. Well, we're next. And so I've been trying to go against that. But I think it's supposedly it passed, but then also they've been flubbing up the whole permit system because thankfully, even if they do ban these species, we'll be able to, we'll be grandfathered in and be able to keep our animals. They're not going to make us get rid of them. But you have to, get the permit saying you own these XYZ animals and you're not going to get any more. But that's been a mess. So a lot of people haven't been able to get it. So they're thinking they might be able to work with that, working with USARK and everybody.
Yeah, well, you definitely don't want to have what happened to us in Alabama, where basically they passed a law that said anything on the federal list is banned here.
Yeah, no, we're trying to avoid that as much as possible. But unfortunately, the people passing the laws don't really understand what the animals are doing and how it's working. So
yeah, they just look at Florida and say, "Oh no,
this
is going to be us."
Florida, they don't care.
Florida is special in the regards to their climate and everything, especially far down, even here in the swamp. So
that's so true. Lots of things can survive in Florida.
Oh yes,
that would not survive elsewhere.
No, especially I'm all the way at the bottom of Louisiana, so we're minutes from the Gulf, and we had 10 inches of snow this year, which was unheard of. And so the big joke that everybody was making, all of the reptile keepers were like, "Oh man, all those wild tegus that they said they see everywhere must not be doing good here in Louisiana." all of the reptile keepers were enjoying that.
Yep.
There was I think it was a tegu that got out somewhere here in Washington. Oh, maybe 6 months ago or something. It's before winter, and people thought it was an alligator. You could clearly tell
those
in
are
the photo.
There, so.
Wasn't that north of us?
I think it was south.
I thought it was.
I don't know. Maybe it was. Anyway, it got out. You could clearly tell it was not an alligator, and it made me think these are
wild
the people.
Tegu.
These are the people passing the laws, probably the people who think it is an alligator.
And you would think people here in Louisiana with alligators literally everywhere would be a little bit better, but some of obviously the wildlife and fisheries people aren't going to think a tegu is an alligator. They still might not know what the tegu is, but they're not going to know it's an alligator. But the general public will still be like, this weird alligator.
Right.
You would think they would grow up around these animals and see them, but it's shocking sometimes.
I got to say that it is the craziest thing to be that far off on an animal with Google image search, where you just grab your picture and put it in there.
Right.
It's not like you have to go down to the public library, get a reptile book. Yeah. Flip through it and tell that's the one
Especially because this one in all photos was clearly black and white.
Right.
I've never seen an alligator that's black and white.
No. if you find one of those, I'd like to know because that could be pretty valuable.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I would think so. How much of your week time do you spend designing?
It just kind of depends. So like I had mentioned before, we aren't traveling too much. So we're doing a lot more designing right now. I actually have some designs I need to start working on just because we're doing the tag sale and then, now it's Memorial Day, but we have a lot of designs we're going to be trying to pump out before the fall show season starts up again. So we could bring some new fresh stuff because we've been to a lot of these shows a few times now. We don't just want to keep coming with the exact same designs over and over. So definitely, several hours a week we'll spend. I usually try and do my designing in the evening after, I was saying earlier, I have 7-year-old twin boys. And so it's usually after they go to bed. It's when everybody's quiet. I start, cracking in and put on something on my computer, watch some YouTube or something and do some designing.
And then how much of your week how do I ask? How much of your week do you spend like doing the design, not the design, the signs, like making the signs, not designing them, but like the cutting out and the.
So that's my wife that does that part.
Okay.
She does the actual manual stuff. I'll do all the designs, shoot it to her. She goes in her building and carves it all.
Oh, that's awesome.
She usually does a few hours a day. And then as far as like the designs for that, it really just depends on what the order is, because for like the laser stuff, like I had said, we do any species.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody orders something really obscure that I haven't done the design for yet, well, then that's a couple hours that I need to spend drawing the animal, researching it, making the design. But if it's just a bunch of orders for bearded dragons, cresties, you know, we've done like 400 different animals so far. So luckily we're getting to the point where I don't have to do too many drawings anymore. But we still get one. Like I have an order for a Western fence lizard, which I haven't done yet. So that's one that I'm going to be drawing soon. But I'm getting to the point where my design time for these signs in particular has gone down drastically, just because a lot of the files are done. Once they're done, they're done.
Right.
You can reprint them. The only thing I'll have to do sometimes is, I don't have any with me, but sometimes, like for these, we'll add, like if somebody has a rosy boa, they want to add their pet's name, we can add their name to the tag for them.
Gotcha.
And so sometimes I'll take 5 minutes, slap on the name, and then ship off the file. But otherwise, thankfully, this doesn't take too much time anymore. That's more on her now. I'm sorry. She has to do that.
Hey, teamwork is a good thing.
100%.
Because trying to do it all on your own, whew, that's a lot to try and take care
No,
of.
I definitely wouldn't be able to do all the designs and then all the manual, carving and stuff too. So.
Absolutely not. Do you have a species or an animal that you would like to get that you do not have yet?
I have several. So I was talking to Reach Out Reptiles in Tinley about their super dwarf retics. Those are super amazing. I would love to have one eventually, because I do like educational programs as well. That's another thing that I do locally. And so that would be an awesome like boa sized animal, because that's my boa in his tank back there behind me. But he's just my big snake that I bring for the kids to hold, right? So that would be something super cool to be able to have. I honestly also just want a green iguana, but just one. And that's really only because they're on the list to potentially be banned at the end of the year.
So you get in
so
the.
If I get one now, I'll have him for a couple decades or so, for however long it survives. But I might not be able to get that chance again. But Eastern hognoses were on my list of something that we really wanted. We just got a pair, so that's been checked off my bucket list. We're excited that we have those guys now. They're super pretty.
Well, yeah, you don't want to not get your iguana and then feel like you missed out.
And luckily for me, where we're at, I can keep it out. Like I can build a really nice outdoor like setup for him and live there most of the year. Bring him in during the winter, obviously, but we're pretty warm where we're at. But it would just be when it gets frozen and stuff.
Do you have large man-eating mosquitoes there?
Oh yes, my legs are not.
I'm sorry, that's all I could think about. Once you said it was really warm.
We have terrible bugs right now. The mosquitoes are terrible, but it's deer fly season. I don't know if y'all are familiar with those little guys.
Yeah,
They're the worst. Little triangle-shaped flies.
Yeah,
we don't have
my
those.
legs are like welted up right now.
They bite
like crazy.
I'm allergic to mosquito bites. Like whenever I get bitten, they like swell up huge. So I just think of things like that, and it just.
No, yeah. If you come here, definitely invest in bug spray, like some really nice bug spray before you come, because you'll just be one big swollen mass.
I would.
We were so close to coming down to New Orleans over the weekend. I was just that close to coming down and hanging out over the weekend, but we decided not to.
Yeah, we're only like an hour south of New Orleans, so we're really close.
It's awesome.
One really cool thing we just found here locally, actually so the way my house is our house has a bayou running in front of it. Somebody locally was fishing right across the street from our house and found a albino diamondback water snake just swimming in the bayou. And so luckily he had a cast net and was able to catch him, and so he gave him to us.
Wow.
So we have this wild caught albino. It's a male. We probed him and everything. A diamondback water snake that I'm going to get my kayak. I'm going in the bayou, trying to see if I can find some other water snakes to maybe pair with them and start breeding those. So that's a project that we're unexpectedly super, super excited about, just because I get a message from some random guy like, "Hey, I hear you're the one who likes snakes. I found something cool in the bayou. Can I come show you?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah,
An albino in the wild.
just wild albino diamondback water snake. We didn't even know exactly what type of water snake he was at first, just because he's an albino. It's kind of hard to tell. But I was able to send his picture to a bunch of different like experts and at identifying and stuff, and that's what we determined he was. So we're super excited about that. He's a cool guy.
Diamondback water snake. I have no idea. I hear diamondback and I think venomous, but it's not venomous.
It's not venomous.
Exactly.
That's what a lot of other people are thinking. It's just like the water snake. So like they have like the plain belly water snakes, banded water snakes, things like that. It's just honestly, the way I like to describe them is like they're kind of like garter snakes, but bigger and stinkier.
Oh, yay.
Okay.
The garter snakes are stinky because I work with those guys too. That's what's in this thing.
The musk, yeah.
Yes.
That's what garter snakes here and here, but they're stinky. But the water snakes are just bigger than garter, and especially the diamondbacks. They're the biggest of the water snakes.
Oh, wow. Yes. I'm looking at them right now.
Oh, that's cool.
They are cool. And an albino one would be even more.
Yeah, I should have grabbed him so I could.
Oh, they have little interesting eyeballs.
Their eyeballs, they're extremely derpy.
Yes, they are. And they have little short noses, kind of. Yeah.
But everybody, I'm trying to find a picture of it.
I'm fighting you.
But everybody around here sees a water snake and they're like, oh no, it's a cottonmouth or a copperhead or whatever they think it is.
It reminds me kind of those, well, okay, I'm going to really butcher this. They called elephant trunk snakes.
Yeah,
elephant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not so much, but like the eyes and the way it's
the derpy little face.
Yeah. And its head is laid out so differently than another snake. Like its eyes are so far forward. Oh, yeah. It's interesting.
It's kind of got like the head shape of a doomer's.
They're mostly in the water, so they keep their little, heads up to watch for different things. That's just speculation on my part.
I would agree.
This is a picture of him. You kind of see
Oh, here, I'm going to make you bigger so we can actually enjoy him. Oh my goodness.
It's awesome.
This is him getting all dirty.
That was in the wild.
I promise his water bowl stays clean, but he decided to throw a bunch of dirt in there.
Oh, I'm sure he did. That's what they do.
While he was eating. And he's doing fantastic being wild caught. I started him off on goldfish just because I have a pond. And I'm like, well, at least this will be something live. And he slurped that thing down so fast. And so now I can feed him like silver size, frozen thawed. He'll eat tilapia. He doesn't care. He's like, as long as I'm being fed, I'm happy. And so
that's cool.
He's doing really well.
And he's like, no more predators. Yay.
Right. I'm surprised he lived as long because he's a big guy. He's yay big. He's not a little baby. And so I'm surprised he lived that long being so, bright colored. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
We have tons of alligators that are around like the 3-foot size in that area he would make a perfect snack for. And so I guess he made it. Maybe he was just sneaky, but then Castnet guy caught him. So
he'd just be a delicious noodle to an alligator. Just slurp him right up.
Slurp that thing right down.
Yeah, see?
we have tons of little ones right in front of our house. We go watch them almost every afternoon. They're very cute.
I had a question, but the question was Banna's question: deer flies and horse flies, different or the same?
I think a horse fly is like twice the size.
Yeah. There might be a colloquial thing, but for us, the deer flies are like the little triangle-shaped ones. The horse flies are like
big, right?
They're bigger.
And the horse flies bite too, though, right?
Yes.
They're like 747.
Right, I don't get bit by the bigger ones nearly as much as the smaller ones. It's the little deer flies that get me the most personally.
Yeah, they're way more aggressive, the deer flies.
Horse flies are like little Pegasus. They have the body of a horse.
They're beautiful.
And the wings of an eagle.
Are iridescent too. And when they fly, they shoot out a little rainbow behind them.
That's right.
How far can we go with this? I could keep going on.
We could throw out that.
Let me get out my iPad. I'll start sketching.
The donkey fly.
The donkey fly?
Yeah.
From
Shrek. The original Shrek.
Yeah.
Bet you ain't never seen a donkey fly.
I was so upset. I showed my kids Shrek for the first time, and I think it was because it was something I suggested. They hated it. And so I'm just like, y'all are un-American.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. The original is the best.
Oh, there's so many good one-liners in Shrek.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
So many good. Craig, have you seen Shrek?
The Muffin Man?
Yeah, good. The Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane. Yes, I know the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man.
Man, that's
Oh,
We were
tell us you've
raising
seen it.
kids right when that was happening, and so yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we saw the heck out of that thing.
You saw the Shrek out of that thing.
We did.
You can't take me anywhere. That's why we're on YouTube, because I can be everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
So, out of all the species you have, Julianne, what are the ones that you consider to be core to what you do, and what are the ones that you sort of have on the side and are more for fun?
Definitely emerald tree skinks, I say, would be one of our core ones. Garter snakes. So we work with just 2 species right now. I have actually, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Brett Dunn with Garters Done Right. I have his pair of Lake Chapala Mexican garters that I partner with him, and so sometimes he'll send us babies, but now I have his pair that's living with me that we're trying to produce. But a lot of people know us for the emerald tree skinks and the garter snakes. We have the Lake Chapalas. We have checkers, a few different morphs of checkers. And then a lot of locals know us for our hog noses, but again, I wouldn't say that's like our biggest thing. And then as far as stuff we just kind of do for fun on the side, we have like a really nice pair of giant day geckos.
Oh yeah,
they have like, they're just really, the female has like a ton of red on her. She's really high color. The male is like a blue blood with a lot of high color red too. And so, but that's just like one little one-off pair. We have babies every now and again. It's nothing that we are focusing all of our time on. We actually just recently got a pair of panther chameleons too, so that's another little on the side fun project. We probably we'll pair them, and we have paired them, but it's nothing that we're going to be cranking out every single egg they lay, because that's just going to be too many baby panther chameleons. But it's something, to have a little bit of fun with and be able to work with. But
I definitely want a panther chameleon.
Yeah, so the female we ended up with on a morph market auction. And I wasn't even involved. It wasn't, so I don't get to take credit for that one. It was my wife and kids were in the car while I ran into Walgreens or something, and I'll come back out. They're like, "Hey, we bid on a panther chameleon and we won," and that was the female. And so we're like, "Well, if we got her, we have to get a guy for her now." So we found one in Dallas at an NARBC. We picked up from a breeder there.
Yeah, Craig has panther chameleon on his wish list. And what's the frog you have on your wish list, Craig?
Oh, I want to get waxy monkey frog.
Those are super, super cool.
But I feel like I should start with another frog species first.
Well, if you ever want Amazon milk frogs, we can definitely help you out there. We work with those.
Cool.
They're super cool. Always describe them as like dumpy tree frogs, but more colorful and higher humidity. Other than that, their care is the same.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, there you go.
The waxy monkey frogs. There's so many cool frogs. I love that frogs are kind of becoming a little bit, not that they were unpopular before, but people are becoming more diverse with the species they keep and really focusing on some really niche things. Because there's just like so many frog species out there that are crazy.
That was my first entry into all this stuff, was as a kid, was just being really obsessed with frogs and tadpoles and all that kind of stuff. And so I feel like, now that I'm, playing the back nine, so to speak, it'd be fun to get back into that.
Stop it right now.
Yeah, 100%. I say my first reptile / amphibian was either the white tree frog or the fire belly toad. I don't remember which one first, but then I do think I had a red-eared slider before that, but I'm not even going to really count that one because that was just something that we got on a whim, also probably from Walmart, because for whatever reason our Walmart sold all kinds of reptiles when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. It was crazy in the 90s and 2000s. People don't know.
People have no idea that Walmart had pets.
You had to be there,
Walmart
man.
was a completely different beast back then.
It was. I remember all the fish in the tanks.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
I do recall that.
What's up, Charlie?
Yeah, no, it's a good thing it changed. Clothes is probably more where it.
I think the number one thing they sell is bananas.
Bananas?
Yeah, I don't think that's a joke.
That makes sense. But I buy a lot of bananas from Walmart, so
Yeah.
Between the kids and we like bananas, some of the animals like bananas. Why not?
Why not is right.
My token ball python, he's over there. He's a banana ball python, so that fits right in there too.
It does. Does he have all the little speckly spots?
He does. Every time he gets a new one, I'm like, he's got mites. No, wait, that's just his banana. I need to calm down.
That does
I did
drive me
that.
crazy about bananas.
Every time. But no, he's a good boy.
I remember when we first got into ball pythons, one of my first ones was a banana. And I remember I posted a picture on Facebook and didn't say like what morph it was or anything. And none of my friends knew anything about snakes.
Right.
And they were like, "Oh, it looks like a banana, an overly ripe banana." I'm like, "Ding, ding, ding! Good job."
And that's how I bring him to like the educational programs and stuff with the kiddos. And that's why I specifically sought out a banana one because I'm like, kids will eat that up.
Yeah.
And so I explained it to them like when he was littler. I'm like, just like a real banana, he's gonna get spots and more spots as he grows. And so I've had a few years now doing this where they're like, he is getting more spots. And so like repeat kids coming back to the different camps and stuff that we see. So it's been really fun. I'm like, they're just like real bananas, except for they don't taste as good, I would imagine.
No.
I have a snake that has black spots underneath the eyes, which is exactly where mites like to go.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, geez.
And it just freaks me out every time I look at it. Oh, crap. And then I just realize it's a few black scales underneath each eye.
It might give you a heart attack.
See?
Julian, this has been a blast. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Monday afternoon.
Oh, it's still morning for me. So
your Monday morning. Yeah, that's right. Julian's in the same time zone you are, Craig. I kept trying to tell her Eastern time.
She's in the actual time zone.
I can translate from Eastern. If you give me the other side, I'll have to do some calculations. But Eastern, I'm used to because everything was always, this show comes on at 7 Central. So when I was a kid, so we've gotten used to that one.
Look at this. Look what Robert says to you, Craig.
That's just so he can see the ball. Yeah, for sure.
Helps him see his food.
For sure.
Any fun plans for the rest of your day over there, Julianne?
I think we're gonna go real crazy and grill some hot dogs. Like a true
nice.
We're gonna grill some hot dogs and hang out at the house. We're going maybe to a small beach area south of Louisiana later in the week. So we're just gonna chill out at home for the rest of today. Get caught up on some of these animal chores. Nothing too crazy.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us, and
we appreciate it. And also have this kitten who's still hanging around that really wants attention, so we'll be hanging out with her.
If you need any amazing signs, go check out Creature Farm on Instagram, and then head over to their website because you're going to find it all there.
We appreciate stickers. Thank you so much for having me. It was great to hang out with you guys.
It was. This was a blast. Hope you all both have a wonderful day. All because there's lots of extra animals hiding behind both of you.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful rest of your Monday. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
The ups and downs, we stay strong in your circle, that's where we belong. Lifting each other all day long, in this family we can't go wrong.